Welcome back to another edition of Whenever Your Head podcast with your boy leskuzzy and Nick 215. Hey, we back. Hey, man, how you doing, my brother? Oh, before we get that, we want to say thank you guys. We finally hit 2,000 subscribers, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
sure. Shout out to
uh,
y'all.
yeah, we are now on 2,000 subscribers. So let me find out the exact number. We are now on 2,040 subscribers.
That's tough.
So, so we
That's
are
tough.
going up. We are going up, man. Uh, so we want to say thank you guys for all the support,
For
and
sure.
we appreciate y'all.
hmm
So, so how we gonna start this? How you doing?
I'm vibing. I'm vibing. How you?
I'm cool, man. Another long week of battle rap, a long weekend, 3 events in 3 days. Uh, you already did 2 events. Booping day one. We got another event coming up this weekend in Chrome 23. So, how you want to start this? We're gonna start with the news that broke earlier in the weekend.
Um. Well, which news is that? I thought we could start with Gnome and then because it kind of will go into Easy anyway, and then
All right, because I wanted to say like easy leaving gun titles.
well, yeah, let's start there because then we're just gonna be talking about Easy most of the podcast anyway.
Yeah. So, I think was it Thursday? I want to say Thursday. If it's not Thursday, it was Friday morning or Wednesday night. Easy put out a statement saying that as of immediately, he's no longer, as of right now or this moment, he's no longer associating himself as gun titles. He learned a lot from gun titles, but he's doing his own thing. Uh, right after that statement was released, whoever controls Surf's Instagram, I guess, told Surf, or maybe it was Surf himself, you know, now in prison you can have phones.
Yeah,
Some
he got a tablet in there.
so whoever controls, I guess somebody told him about easy living gun titles, and he said I never took the easy way out, but free me though. Uh, Tay Rock didn't say much about the situation. Neither did Chess. Both of them saying no comment. Uh, I think this is it. I want to say I believe this is the next domino between Easy and Urel.
What you mean?
The two main guys on gun titles. Who are they?
Rocking surf?
And what's their main thing about Urel? What do they say they're loyal to?
Oh yeah, they load a URL, but I don't. Well, yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that.
So we have Surface said it too. Even though Surface said his conversations in spaces has said he's loyal to Yara because they kind of take care of him more than like
I'll be loyal to anybody that would give me a high rise hotel room or apartment anywhere for as long as I want.
and
Yeah,
the
I'll stay
and
loyal
they
to them too.
and they pay my bail when I need bail. Like I'll stay loyal to them too.
I don't think they paid the bill though.
I did. I think he did say that though.
Nah, he
I
hasn't
think
yet.
the time when he
He
got
was in there too long.
not 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 this one. The time when he got released to when he got released and Joe Biden picked him up.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the time he's talking about. I remember because I remember Joe Biden and Smack drove up there. So he said that. But he also said if a better rapper asked him advice, he would. Well, he compared his career to him, right? You know, those are the two big names in battle rap, anyways. When it comes to views and like money wise,
Yeah, and clips.
yeah. But you know, Clips. I'm talking views with less battles. Like Clips has views, but he battles everywhere. But you, Seth and Tay Rock and He-Man don't battle everywhere. They just battle on big stages.
True.
So that's how they were comparing their career. Because Seth is loyal to URL and He-Man is kind of bet on himself, right? So Seth has said that if a bearer asks him advice, I'll tell them to follow He-Man's career, like bet on yourself. But he's loyal to URL because they take care of him, you know, differently. But so so it kind of did. That was the whole week, and it
And
ended
that
up.
turned into Gnome being basically about Easy the entire time.
Yeah, no night.
Everybody had an Easy bar in all three of their rounds.
Yeah,
At
I
least
think.
one or two bars.
Yeah, I think one or two. It was neither mentioning Easy. So you know, now let's talk. Now we now get into Gnome. So Gnome happened. Night of many events. Impact. That's how they code it, Gnome Impact. So night of many events. Impact. But I saw this on Twitter. It's now called Night of Mentioning Easy Impact because Easy was mentioning every battle.
Yep.
Uh,
He was the hottest topic.
Hottest topic. The contract situation was mentioned. Uh, so how we gonna start this? We gonna start. I know that you didn't watch the first battle, right? You haven't watched the first battle, right?
I only watched, I think, three battles.
Uh,
Rock
mm-hmm,
and Geechee,
mm-hmm.
um, the PG Killers, and then
Now called the Crucible Killers. Officially changed their name to the Crucible Killers.
and
Lou and
Lou and Jerry.
the Wild Card, the Wild Cards. Uh, so I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna go in order because I think you watched the PG Killers live with me on Discord. Uh,
Yes.
because I remember when I recorded it, your voice. I think it was in the second right. You said, "Oh, they're getting killed bad," and Leo recorded your voice saying it.
Oh shit. They was getting bodied, yo. They was
So,
getting really handled. Like,
uh, so the first battle. Now, people, if y'all hear this, I don't know if y'all watched the event or something. This battle was not announced. It was a surprise battle, right? A surprise battle. Teams where shit happens and Luke Castro, shit happens and Swavel going against Kid Slay and Authentic. This was Kid Slay's return since the Shotgun Shook battle. And, the snitch situations, kind of, I think, kind of put him, he took a break from battle rap, period.
mm-hmm.
He was doing music and stuff. But, so, backstory. So he said he got the call from Smack and Beasley to come on the card, right? But they asked him, like he was on 50 and he's like, you gotta find a partner, somebody who do you want to partner with? And he said, Authentic. His reason on why he wanted to partner with Authentic was he wanted somebody who he knows, like, somebody he can trust, like somebody who like focus on him, like somebody who's like, oh yeah, I'm a ride or die with you, right? So he said Authentic, and Authentic was like, yeah, let's do it. So one thing I noticed about everyone who battled on the card, I think except for one team, that's Twerk and Rum Nitty, they had less prep time together. That's the only team.
When did they start booking people?
So now, when I say less prep time together, is meaning like them as a team. Like they'll ride together, but you know how people live in different areas.
Yeah.
It was less time for them to practice, as like some of them literally said they literally met each other. They started practicing their stuff, memorizing their stuff the day, like the time when they got into Atlanta. That was Thursday. That was like the first time most of them actually practiced their rounds as a team. Mm-hmm. Even like when Tay Rock said it, is like him and Geechee, they had like situation where they were missing each other's calls because of the time difference. Right? Lucasio said the same thing. Well, Lucasio did say that he's like their third round they didn't have that memorized by like literally by.
You can tell because he in the third round. He's literally Lou was saying that he wrong round. That's the wrong round. He kept saying that.
Yeah. It was like when he said that's the wrong starting, like he literally said when Jerry was saying his monologue. So they said they didn't have that memorized until, they didn't have it, like it was already written down, but it was not memorized until Friday. Most of them, all of them, the only person that I didn't hear say that was Rum Nitty and Twerk. And I think why they didn't say that, because they already had planned to be a team from the get-go. Right?
Yeah.
Even like, we'll talk about it when we get into like breaking down that battle. So Shit Happens with Swivel came out. I'll give y'all my initial feeling after the battle and after I rewatched it, and why kind of my opinion changed from watching live, and why I kind of agreed with what the fans said on the caffeine. Because on the cafe, when the live happened, I disagreed with what the fans said. Right, the fan vote, I disagreed with it. So what happened was Sheed and Swivel came. Kisley came, and Authentic. There was no coin toss. In this one, there was no coin toss. So Sheed and Swivel elected to go first. And this is the funny part. I want to say, she is pure entertainment. Even though he's like him. I really want to watch that battle with him and Bill Collector, because I want to see how he performed. And I feel like they made a mistake making that battle in that room. I wanted it to be on a big stage, because you saw the full sheet on that big stage, on that gnome stage. That man was hilarious. I literally said that man was a fool. Him and Swaver were fools on that stage. Like, if I can give a team performance, like performing their bars, like act like being, how a team that had, like, not a person, but a team that had great performance. Like, I'm not throughout, like, right? Swerver and Sheed had the best performance because the way they were, like, how they started the round, right? It was like, Swerver started it off. He's like, you know what? I really don't know what to say to the kid, meaning Kid Slay, and
Mhm.
Sheed walked up to Kid Slay, and you could see that Sheed and Kid Slay are actually friends outside of Battle Rap. Because and then when he walked up, Kid Slay kind of knew what's coming, and he started laughing. And she literally laughed at the same, like he released a laugh, but he was trying to be serious. He's like, I don't know what, like Swerve was like with like his entourage. She's like, I don't know what to say to kid, and she was like, I do. I want to call him a snitch, a bitch, and like the way he and you see, and you, it was the way Kid Slay. I was like, Kid Slay's actually enjoying them using this whole angle about him being a snitch, right?
Mhm.
And he's laughing at it, right? They go back and forth, like this back and forth, like you seen that they have chemistry. Uh their performance was crazy, but she kind of took over with performance because he had like this, like he every time he's like, I hear this bar when he had like aeroplane, and literally he was like walking on across the stage like an aeroplane. I was like, this nigga is entertainment, was entertaining that crowd crazy. Uh, then it was now like they started like it was a great battle. So initially I had because I liked the performance. The crowd was into performance, so I was like okay, and it looked like the momentum was with Sheet and Swavel most of the night, most of that battle. So I had Sheet and Swavel winning the battle initially, right
Mhm.
from after the first watch, uh, because the momentum and it looked like it was a good fight. I didn't say the battle was like it was one sided. No, it was more of a good fight, a good fought battle. So they did that, and when the fan vote came, the fan vote had Kisley and Authentic winning. I didn't. At first, I was like, "How did they see that?" But now, when I went back and watched it, I'm like, "Oh, I see why they had this." I was like, because in the first, it's actually closer than I thought. Because the whole first round, I want to say how most of their first round was attacking Kisley, being calling like about you snitching on his brother. Well, technically they didn't call him a snitch. They said his brother was a snitch. One thing I'm happy about that actually people now are acknowledging that his brother was the snitch, right? But Kisley is getting now he's getting a different angle attack, saying that you should have not let you should have not threw your brother under the bus, right? Now that was the angle that they used the whole first round, or most of the
Mhm.
first round. Then when Kisley and Authentic kind of wrote that angle, if I want to, that's how they did it because they were talking about him, the snitching and everything, blah blah blah. And Authentic said, "Yo, I have so much anger. I'll actually he out there he Kislay's brother with it." And the way Kislay responded to that bar was hilarious because he's like, "What you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, talk." He's like, "There's so much anger. I bought it." He's like, "I got so much anger." And Clash had glasses on, like the beginning of the first round, right? He's like, I had so much anger, all this emotion built up. I could actually hit Slay's brother with it. And Slay was like, you nigga, you bugging. He's like, you bugging with that. Like the way it was like acting like it was a surprise and stuff. Uh, so, but the reason why I had them winning after the second watch was the first and the third. Initially, I had them winning the third from the get go, but I had like Sheed and them winning the first and the second. But I'm not mad if people still want to say Sheed and Swavel won the first and the second, and it was 2-1. But after the second watch, I kind of gave it to Keith Slade and Authentic. So they set the tone, and I was like, yo. Plus now, here this is a backstory. This is now a setup into. I think this the thing that messed up whatever the team top six or what that's their name or foot soldiers whatever their name is, right?
Mm.
Uh, the Crucible guys, they were both on stage when
Yeah, they
she
should have been on stage.
they were both on stage when she and Swivel were rapping. That's I think that's what made most of the like people well most of the like the analyst was who was that? Jay Black. Jay Black had picked them. He's like, oh maybe the see the feel of the stage that's seeing what it takes to actually get the crowd, now. So I feel like they didn't. The problem with them, or I think, so they were on stage. I think the whole time until they like literally they were all both of them were still on stage. I think they didn't expect to go next, right? Maybe that's why because I know that John and DNA literally said John told DNA he's like yo we should go next. And John was like, oh, you think so? He's like, yeah, we should go next. And we should go first. Right? So Johnson and them went to Smack and Beasley and they said, let's go next. So the PG Killers came out. Crucible Killers versus Top 6. This battle, me and Vinique watched it on Discord together. Right? I want to say this. And I think I said it in my Insta. If y'all follow me on Instagram, I said this. Smack, I think it's time. I think you have done enough. I think it's time for not let DNA or John better than you guys. If you want another big star, don't let them two better than you guys. And at least until the new guys have made a actual fan base. Like an actual fame, like let them be like Eazy, Eazy, like let them battle, like it. I want to say because they technically Eazy was mentioned, so we're gonna say like Eazy. I think Swamp. Did Swamp better DNA yet? No, I don't think so.
No.
So
Both of them, I think Easy and Swamp both didn't battle. Neither one of them.
yeah,
Um,
like they
Ace,
let
I think Ace got away for a while until he built the fan base.
yeah. You see,
Once they build a fan base, then they're good. But
yeah, let them do that. Let Ace do like how Ace did it, how Easy did it, how Swamp did it. Let them build a fan base, right? When they build a fan base, make them like a great fan base, like twerk type of fan base. Like even when twerk better DNA and it got smoked, it really didn't damage twerk that much because he already had a solid ground to lean on, right? So I'm saying that you should not let, please don't let, when you hear DNA say, let me better than you guys, say no. Say no. We are banning you from betting on you guys until they have made them their name to not to us call not us like hardcore better reference to casual fans. That's where I say a fan base where casual fans kind of know their name, right?
mm,
Yeah, let them do that. Like casual fans know like a Swamp. Some casual fans know ASME. Let them build a fan base like that with casual fans who don't watch Battle Rap every, I want to say every month, who watch every Battle Rap every like 3 6 months. Those casual fans, no 3 months, they watch Battle Rap every big event. When they get those type of fans, casual fans like those, then you can let them battle DNA or him or John, because this was a murder. Yeah, like John John, they can't get away with this. They could not. They should have not got away with that. After the second, I could have said on my Instagram story, Smack, you need to find the white flag and throw it. I didn't want to hear the third. I really didn't want to hear the third. I was like, I'm done. This is battle over. John John and DNA won this battle on 2 rounds alone. They can choke in the third, and I still would think they won 3-0 because there was nothing they can do. Literally, they had the crowd in their hands.
Oh, yeah, no, they both write like similar, so it was almost. I know battle rap team's supposed to be like, oh, he starts the sentence, he finished the sentence. Nah, those niggas really started and finished each other's sentences, and that shit was
And
crazy.
they started each other's finishing each other's sentence. And the like the way he started the first. Like he's like I was throwing. He's like I was. It's like the other day I was throwing at this Hansel picture, right? And just like and my man John called me and said let's talk to the C class thinking that the E class, and John said thinking that the E class, and they were going back and forth. And at the end of the round when they did the multiple choice, and said they did the multiple choice, then they did the slogan, get them the fuck out of here. And the way he said it's like it's like nah, I didn't even like that multiple choice. Get like they did the whole bro. To be honest, I don't remember what freaking Souffle saw in there. They had that one Siamese twins. They had the Siamese twins skin.
That was fire.
That
That
was cool.
Siamese twin shit was crazy.
Yeah, but
But nothing else they said was nah.
that
Nah.
Siamese twins was crazy. But I felt like they kind of extended it a little bit longer. They should have stopped like 1 or 2 Siamese twins, not like extra 2 because that.
Mm.
But yeah, but that was fire. That's the only thing I remember from them. But if you ask me, John John and DNA, bro, they had. How did they start the second? Oh, bro. You know how they started the second is stuck in my brain. They
How they
said,
started.
he's like, John John was like, yo, you remember when battle rap was fun? He's like, then Dinner was like, yeah, what have battle rap become? He's like, we on stage with a nigga named Souffle Soul, and Dinner was like, and Foots. And the way they looked at each other after they said their names, he's like, yeah, I think battle rap is done.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
It was not, people didn't notice that little stuff because they said it like Dinner was looking at the crowd. John John was looking at them too, right? That's how they started. Dinner is like he looked at tapped and no, John John tapped at Dinner. He's like, you remember when battle rap was fun? And Dinner looked at him. He's like, man, he's like, what battle rap it become? He's like, we on stage with a nigga's name so Fast Soul and Foot. He's like, looked at him. He's like, yeah, I think battle rap is done. Then the next bar was like, yo, he's like, you know how since Jeruz found his fame, don't you think everybody sound the same? And John John and Daniel literally didn't acknowledge what John John said. Like the whole when John John was asking him his question, like you know how John John he didn't acknowledge it. He was like, you know what's confusing me? He's like, why this thing is so flesh so always move on stage acting like he's going through a crowd of train. Like it was it was hilarious.
No, they was really bugging out there.
Then they had they started going back and forth. They had like the singing near the end of the round.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like,
he did that R. Kelly shit was yo, they was really bugging, yo. like like nobody gonna understand, but they was really bugging out there.
bro,
But I told
it's
you that.
time,
That was an easy battle. Like,
bro. He's
and
like,
that's my problem with this card.
he's like,
But
initiate. He's like, what did they started with? He's like, we about to sing for y'all. He's like, something in nation edition, the culture straight out from the kitchen. Then everybody leave without that permission. It's like that crumb shit is done. The RB and the fun. If it's like if you leave URL, that means we will want bounce 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 bounce.
Dog, that shit was crazy,
Bro, they had the Walking Dead. Like it was the point that like they had bars on bars, bro. The Walking Dead, bro. He's like, you sleep. He's like walking. He's like that walking. And the funny part, they didn't even finish the bar. The setup to the bar. The crowd caught the bar before they even sent the bar. I noticed that. Like when they were setting up that Walking Dead bar, Johnson didn't even finish saying Walking Dead and the crowd erupted. I'm like, yo, it's to the point of this is unfair. That's the if you think that's even close to what they did in the third, bro.
No,
That's the second. That's
no,
the
they
second.
they was bugging before they even got to the third, bro.
Then the third, they addressed this contract situation. Godly.
Yeah, no. I like how they addressed it too, but I also don't like how everybody is instantly saying, "Hey, yo, Smack, you right," but also he right. Like it's not they not
No,
really
that was
giving their opinion. They just saying
actually the
everybody's right.
funny part. That was not everyone didn't say that.
No,
Most
everybody said that. They said,
no,
"No, Smack, I'm with you," and
no.
then they
That if you actually notice that DNA DNA didn't say he was with Smack. DNA sided with Eazy. John just said it with Smack. The only person said Smack you right, Easy's right was Luke Castro.
Nah, I heard a lot of no, Smack, I'm with you, but you mean, and then do the bar about it. I
No,
swear I heard it that way.
because Luke Castro he's the only one who actually said to Smack, he's like, you and Beasley are not wrong. And Easy's not wrong either. It's this thing. Well, the bar was technically speaking, he didn't kind of, wasn't even talking about the event. He was talking about Danny Myers and why he
Yeah,
backed out.
he was talking about him.
Yeah. So technically speaking, he kind of sided with both and Easy, but and blamed Danny Myers for the whole thing.
If Danny didn't do that, which also we gotta get to Danny. How your partner start dissing you and she ain't even lead the event yet. She's dissing you. She ain't even leave the city yet. She ain't
What?
even go home.
What did she say?
That came out today.
What did she say?
She was basically saying he was unprepared. But if you watch the battle, he kind of freestyled through it. But I do feel like he was unprepared. He sat there and freestyled through it. I feel like a lot of his bars weren't
Tailor-made.
because I feel like he had stuff that he was supposed to say and it was supposed to end, and she was supposed to follow. They made a good way to make it work, and Hustle was over there, but it seemed like Hustle was actually prepared for once. Like she was not like sitting there choking it. Well, she's always prepared, but you know what I mean. Like she was really prepared, and it seemed like something was off between both of them, and I think that's what it was. I don't think he actually was prepared. And she said that she aired him out. She ain't even leave Atlanta yet, and she
I
aired
think
him
she
out.
lives in Atlanta.
She lives in Atlanta. I don't think so. I don't think so. She might. Who knows?
No, but I do know that they did say, both of them did say that they're less time prep.
I don't mean anything.
After the event, the lyric said, Hassel said she had to move in with Danny.
That's crazy.
She's like, yo, we had, he's like, Danny literally said, yo, we gotta, he's like, I had to move in with Danny so that we can get this shit, like, a little bit done. He's like, because our writing shit was not really ready. Even the third, they said the third didn't get done until the day before the battle.
Nasty work.
Uh,
They went. They did good. They just they clearly lost, but they did. Good.
yeah. Now, so the third, how did it? Okay, this is how they started it. I don't know if I feel like they should stay as teams, John and DNA,
They
because
should. They should. They
because
complement each other.
yeah, because how how DNA started the day, he's like, Smack, you owe me an apology. And John John's like, I don't even care, honestly. And Smack is like, what did I do? And Smack is like, what? He's like, Smack, you owe me an apology. And John was like, I don't even care, apology. So then DNA was like, so you cool with niggas signing slave deals and talking back to the master? And John is like, okay, that bothers me.
No, they was getting.
He's
Getting
like,
there, yeah.
okay, that bothers me. He's like, 6 years. He's like, let's talk. He's like, then how did this? I forgot what was the line before he took out the paper, right? They said something about the. Oh yeah, they said the easy way out, or something, the trenches or something, right? Then they took out the whatever the paper he was holding. He's like, nah, let's talk about these contracts. And John was like, I think this. He's like, I think that's the business we should stay at. He's like, fuck no. That got these people under the 5 to 6 years with no guarantee of sentence. So how does that benefit the artists, right? And then Judge was like, how? It's like, how is it benefit the league if they can bridge the same contract and take the easy way out? I was like, God damn. I was like, easy cut us straight. I think they have the most.
He did the thing where he's seeing it from both sides type thing.
Yeah.
And
But I think
I like that. That was good. That was good.
So yeah. That was I gave that bell a 3-0. It was a body 3-0. They didn't do bad, but they got 3-0. They didn't do bad.
No, they got bodied. Some of that shit they was going up there and saying. And that's why battle rap is kind of is on the decline a little bit, because if you don't got one of them, some of them old niggas that really, be rapping up there, it ain't gonna work.
No, I think that's what they said too. Then on the 15 minutes of fame, they said, okay, that it's like, technically speaking, they were not bad. It was they lacked the experience on the big stage because they didn't have the IQ or knowing what to say on the big stage. He's like, because it's like, I think they didn't listen. It's like, then they say they didn't listen to. It's like, people. One thing they didn't do was listen to Jake Boy Main. He's like, Jake Boy Main kind of told them, y'all gotta switch it around, and they didn't listen to Jake.
Yeah, well, that's their fault.
It's like they were missing. It's like they didn't. I think that these like, because John DNA was like, yo, I literally heard Jake Boy Main. He's like, y'all gotta keep it simple. He's like, this is a big crowd. He's like, he literally told. He's like, I remember Jake Boy Main talking about them. Yo. And now talk about this battle. This is now, y'all know why this battle was this, why they got beat bad, right? I want to tell y'all why they got beat bad, because I know why it got out of hand, and it collect. So Flash, so you need to take it. You need to apologize. Because you're the reason why your team lost. Because you went, I think it was earlier this week, you went on what was it? No, earlier last week, people, when you watch this, earlier last week, he went on a podcast and said John was not a legend.
No, yeah, that's one way to kill yourself.
So he went on that podcast and said John's not a legend, right? He said this, blah, blah, blah. He said whatever. I didn't even listen to that shit. Then, on the face-off, Foots didn't come to the face-off. Foots was on a delay somehow. Right? Foots didn't make it to the face-off. But Safleso made it to the face-off. Then Safleso, like, literally said some dumb shit. That made me say, okay, this thing he just caused he just dug his grave, because DNA Leo refused to sit on the table. DNA Leo took a bench, sat away from the table, and sat there. And Jay Black was like, "Why are you sitting there?" He's like, "I'm not." He's like, "I refuse to sit on the table with somebody who who thinks John John is not a legend, right? And John John asked him straight up, he's like, why you think I'm not a legend? He's like, first of all, why do I have to be it to prove it to you that I'm a legend? And Southflare was like, maybe I'm the right person. He's like, I might be the right people to prove it to. Blah 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 blah. Then he kind of explained his reason. He's like, you used to be a legend, but you let me down a couple of times, nigga. He said, John, he's like, every time you let down your fans. When did John John let down his fans? Except for the surf battle. That's the only time I actually think John John let down the fans.
No,
But
he definitely let down the fans with that. He
yeah,
got his ass whipped.
but he said every time you get on stage is mediocre, mediocre, mediocre. Johnson has never had a mediocre battle except for the surf battle, and I understand it was surf. So I don't know what you were talking about. The other battle, maybe he let down fans, was the Ace Amin, because I felt like Ace Amin actually won the battle. But technically speaking, he didn't let down the fans because they addressed the whole situation. But Ace Amin kind of addressed it better. That's it. But anything else, I don't know what's up. So kind of, then I think the talk and the funny part, they kind of brought that up, experience on a big stage. And so Flesso and whoever wasn't part of his team said it doesn't matter. And it showed it didn't matter on that stage. It didn't matter. That experience didn't matter, buddy. It didn't matter. Now in the next battle, this is the battle that you didn't watch. And I think you didn't like this battle. This team.
I didn't like none of these damn battles. Except for Jerry and Lou. And that's it. I don't know. And of course, I mean, John and what's his name? But their partners, I mean, their opponents was ass. Like, so I could have told you that they was going to get 30. Like,
All right, but I think you didn't like T-Top and Swamp.
oh no, I told you T-Top should retire. You thought I was playing, but I was dead serious. I
No,
wasn't going to
no.
watch that.
Actually, he actually did good.
Well, that's good for him.
Him
No,
and him. The crazy part, him and Swamp actually did better than Evan Fonz, and Evan Fonz will be a team for what, 2 years, 3 years now, and probably because Fonz kind of was choking and stumbling most of the lines. Maybe that's why. But Swamp and Swamp and T-Tap, how they started their run was hilarious, right? Because Evan Fonz went, yeah, they like punching back to back, but it was not hitting like that at most. Then T-Tap and Swamp came on, and they did the mic check. You know how can y'all hear us, right? And Swamp and T-Tap went to Swamp. He's like, so how you want to do this? You want to do my intro? You want to do your intro? You want to do what I want to do? You want to do what you want to do? And Swamp was like, ah! He's like, since this nigga doesn't have an intro, he's like, Atlanta, what up? Then T-Tap was like, oh, I know this part. Let's eat.
What, bro?
It's Swamp's like, what up? Let's eat. Get your dinner set. While y'all feasting, I'ma show this nigga I'm the same nigga in real life that I am on the internet. That's his intro to every battle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because they were a team, T-Tap jumped in on Let's Eat and the dinner set. That's the part that he jumped in, right? So this is how he started. So Swamp, they did the whole back and forth. Oh well, T-Tap did the whole thing like, oh, you wanna do my intro, you wanna do your intro, you wanna do what I wanna do, you wanna do your intro, and Swamp was like, shh. Right? He's like, since this nigga doesn't have an intro, he's like, Atlanta, what up? And Like it was like I mean when he said shh, it's like since this nigga because T-Tap is also a great like crowd performer. Like while he's interacting with the crowd, he's so good at it. He's like. He's like, man, why you and letting me do what I want to do, right? So he did that. He's like, so Swamp was like, Atlanta, what up? Then and Tita was like, oh, I know this, but let's eat. And Swamp was like, okay. It's like they got the Kings of the Carolines on the same team. Let's get your then Tita was like, oh, I know this part too. Get your dinner set. It was the hilarious part of how they began the whole. He's like, and Swamp was like, okay, while y'all feasting, we will show these niggas that we are the same niggas in real life that we in the internet. And so Swamp was like, already killed this nigga. He's like, hey, now already then T-Tap was already killed that nigga because they're both better Ev and Swamp battled Fonz and Tita battled Ev, and arguably both of them won those battles, right?
Mm.
So they kind of addressed that beating them in one-on-one battles at the beginning. Then Swamp addressed backing out on the trenches. Well, he didn't address. He kind of said it. Like getting black, it is like getting the trench is going easy to black, easy to black something like that. But he kind of addressed the whole trenches situation, and I think he really didn't back out because Swamp Eazy actually uploaded Swamp. He didn't say nice good things about Danny, but he said something about Swamp, good things about Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Swamp actually was kind of forced to get out.
Probably. He might be in one of those contracts.
Yeah.
Now, he's somebody I can believe will be in those contracts.
Yeah, so
He'll be out of them soon, though.
Yeah, so.
And if they signed him to 5 years.
No, I don't think. No, I think
Swamp popped off like right before.
I think. Yeah, I think Swamp is. I think he's then probably over.
I don't think so.
No, maybe he renewed it, or he's on that last year, the extra year.
Nah, they gripped him up fast. I don't think so. I
No,
think
I'm.
Under that.
Yeah, well, wait. Yeah, Swamp Power is the only. I think the only person who's probably with Swamp's class is Ace Amin. Ace Amin does whatever he wants. And I think Ace Amin does it because he knows how to do business. Because when you listen to Ace Amin actually knows how to conduct his business.
Yeah, facts.
Because, like, it's crazy that out of everyone who, like, popped off the same time, I only saw one person literally hang with, like, literally, it was, what? Was it, like, Surf's birthday, June Midnight Menace, and you saw him and Ace Amin hanging out, and him and Surf was like, he's like, this one of the only people I know who make more. It's like I make money from. It's like more money on him on Battle Rap, but he makes way more money out of Battle Rap than me. He's like, he does whatever he wants, and I was like, oh, maybe that's why he can move how he moves. Because I was like, to be honest, Ace Amin really doesn't care about his status in Battle Rap like that.
Yeah. He doesn't lose that much either.
Yeah, he really does. He's like, fuck it. I'll do whatever I want. He's like, fuck it. Y'all want me to battle this guy? I'll battle him, but fuck it. He really doesn't even battle that much no more. You see him once or twice a year and he's gone. He disappears. All you see him is just on events, just supporting his homies and everything. But after that, you don't see him like that. So the battle was good. It was not terrible. Well, it was okay. It was not like this hype of DNA. It was worse than DNA, and performance was not entertaining from either side. except well from one side because fans kind of messed up for the team, and their chemistry was not as I thought it was supposed to be. Because the only time they actually got good was when they did like solo like monologues, just
Mm.
rap long time, just one long time. Then it was like Fonz rap for like the third round, the first half of the third round by himself. Then F did the same thing, the bottom of the third round, and that's it. And they did like interchangeable, but that was the only good part from their team. The rest was terrible. Well, not terrible. It was like lackluster. It was nothing. It was not what I expected, and I think that's why Swamp and T Top kind of brought that up on the face off, saying that y'all don't know how to. He's like, how y'all gonna translate? He's like, the last time y'all in a small room, so that's how y'all dominated. This is a big stage. Y'all have there's a lot more to do on a big stage, and I see why they brought that up. Now let's address this. This bet I don't want to even talk about this shit. The worst bet on the card, and it's mainly because of one person.
Calico?
Yes,
I could have told you that, and I think I did.
bro. This
Could have
man,
told you that one.
this man. Oh, I don't know what's his issue with All Red, but the whole time he literally doesn't like All Red. Like literally doesn't like All Red. Because well, they vote like that. Literally saying that already is trash. That's what how they vote, right? But the reason why I don't like this battle is Calico persuaded the crowd to not let Alred speak because let's be honest, they have history. All four of them have history, right? But Calico, Suge, and Alred have way more history than with Hollow, right? You could see that Hollow was cool with Suge and Alred, but
Yeah.
you saw the difference in Suge and Alred to Calico. They're not that cool, right?
Mm.
And Calico's unprofessionalism because Alred was supposed to have to do a story time or like a monologue talking about the story. I think at UW, whatever had happened at UW or something in Jersey that involved most people kind of know. Like Jay Blake kind of knew like a little bit about the story, but he wanted like the food. You know how remember how we did like the story for like was it who was it? It was the Rex. You done enough? Who did that story? Calico, you done enough? Was it Rex?
I think so. I think so.
It's like oh what?
Might-
What was who's? If it was not Rex, it was Red. Was it? I think it was Red. Like the
Yeah,
story.
yeah, Calico, you done enough. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey,
Calico retells it. It was Ored that did it. Um, what's his name said Ored was wilding too.
yeah, I think that was the story that they're about to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that story or some a different story, but it was like a story like that, right? And Calico kind of did the sucker shit and said, he's like, no, don't rap. We don't want to hear that. And then he looked at the crowd. He's like, oh, why is his voice always is gone? I'm like, bro, maybe that's it. I was like, we know Chess almost vomits every battle. He has to burp every battle. Well, maybe that's already doesn't have, you know, the strength of his voice to last rapping and screaming and his high pace and the fighting with the crowd sometimes. So he loses his voice. And that's it. Plus he screamed y'all was screaming on the face off, so that kinda played a part of him losing the voice a little bit, almost losing his voice a little bit early.
Right.
So
He is always losing his voice though.
Yeah, but I feel like to be honest, if when he does that, I feel like he goes way more fire, in my opinion. Because the last time he did, like the last time I watched, Rex lose his voice was against Iron Solomon, and he went crazy. And against Reed Dollars too, he did the same thing. He lost his voice on Summer Madness 7, and he went crazy. It's something about him losing the voice, and he goes crazy. It's like I think that's his signature move. At this point,
Maybe.
that's his signature move. So that battle made the crowd go completely dead. Like literally, the crowd was like done. So out, and you could see that the crowd was not into it, right? And it was Jay Black said, "Oh, they should put." He kind of proposed that y'all should put Twerk and Ramnidi and Tarek and Geechee next, so that the crowd get hyped up. Then the Soros was like, "Out." He's like, "Normally I would agree with you of doing that if we didn't have two people on this battle coming up, meaning Danny and Lucas, who have that energy to get the crowd going, right?" I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Well, yeah." I was like, "Yeah, the service is right." I was like, "The crowd can get going with Danny, Misaso, then Luke Castro. They're gonna get going because Luke Castro is a character himself." Then I didn't know Jerry West is not much funny. Yo, that battle was hilarious. No, that's number one. Because I don't know who's Miss Hassel dating. Is she still dating Ron Nitty, or she's now dating Jerry West?
Maybe after the battle she is.
Because Jerry,
Jerry was bugging, yo. He was a comedian on stage. That's the he has jokes normally, but like that was he was really attempting to be like
uh,
funny.
yeah, like, and you see, like, Luke Castro was, I don't know. So they were making it was. I saw the strategy. They were being physical. Luke Castro went home with bruises because that man got pushed around, got stabbed, got bumped into, got elbowed like a couple times. That man was getting everything done to him. Like the first,
Castro was literally losing his mind out there, yo.
bro, he got pushed. How many? I don't know how many times Castro got pushed in that first round alone. Like it was to a point that Castro was like, "Yo, at this point, y'all better like yo." I don't know if people noticed that Castro and Jerry Woods kind of made Miss Hassel and Danny Myers burn some fire with their facial reactions on every time when they say crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was the way that was like when it was the part when in the third round when Misaso comes to his shoulder and Castro looks with a side eye like, "What you about to say?" And she's like, "Give me your password." Then it comes to like, "Give it to her, nigga. Give it to her." And Castro gets the phone. He's like, "Why am I gonna give you my password?" It was the way he reacted. Like he looked at them like, "What? Y'all just gonna jump me for my password?" So he grabs Danny's phone and he looks at it for a second, then he gives it back. He's like, "Fuck no, what?" Then, in the same round when Misaso was flirting uh, with Jerry and Danny walks between them and saying no, and like the bar was about the car blocking, he's like move away, car blocking, and something like that. It was
Mm-hmm.
Jerry's facial expression, like bro, let it. It's like I'm trying to get. Yo, I was like, yo, damn. I was like, I don't know who came up with the idea of making Jerry and Lucas were a team because there were fools on stage.
It was perfect.
Like Like how they begin the round too. It was Jerry West said a lot. He's like Smack. He got me battling the gang. He's like that. He looked at the card. He's like, that's not somewhere. He's like, he's Sammy ain't telling me. He's like, unless I'm kicked out the group. And he's like, and Sammy I ain't no. He's like, I already beat Lou and Danny. It's supposed to be me and Hassel. And then and Lucas was like, nigga, what the fuck you doing, man? He's like, my bad.
They was bugging, yo. That team was fire together, yo.
Yo, he's like, my bad. Then Lucas, then they brought out the Chrome 23, and Lucas was shh. He's like, shh. He looked at Smack, he's like, he looked at Smack, he's like, I'm trying to coach him, man. He should not say shit like that. He's like, I can say it? He's like, no. He's like, you see how easy we got him, man? Bro, they was bugging on stage. Then, I don't know, I forgot which round when Miss House was still flirting, but I don't know who was it with Luke Castro or it was with Jerry when she had like the cereal. Say I'll get you all the cereals on top, and somebody tried to kiss their elbow. I was like, yo, the third round when Luke Castro tried to coach. He's like, I'm tired of this nice shit. Lucas was, I'm tired of saying. He's like, this is not how we practice. We get in the stance. Look at it. He's like, what you gonna do when Danny grab? I'm gonna let her hit a clip. What you gonna do when Miss Hazard? I'm gonna let it happen. He's like, and the way they performed that was hilarious. Then Lucas stole the show with his heel toe dance. That nigga was a fool on stage.
Yeah, that show was great.
Nah.
That show was a perfect team.
Perfect team. And they got
another two. You could possibly give them a round, but I would say 2-1-3.
I said 2-1-3-0 because the first was actually closer than the second and third was clear, but the first was close.
Yeah, the first was pretty close.
Now this the battle that I think, in my opinion, was better of the night. But I can also see people saying Danny and Miss Aso versus Lou and Jerry was better of the night too. But these are the two best. I'm gonna lie, the last two battles kind of made the event more fun or more fire. Especially look at Twerk and Rum Nitty. I'm gonna lie, they're fire. It's just the crowd really was kind of tired and dead at the same time because they had to listen to.
I don't think so. They were ready. They were ready there though.
No, they were ready, but it was like let's be honest. We're gonna be honest. There are some bars that they missed that they didn't catch from both teams. That I feel like should have got reactions. But the crowd now, that's where my next point. We should stop going to Atlanta. Period. If we are gonna do a 2-on-2, we need to go back to New York because I feel like the New York crowd would be quite crazy. Because I felt like that first one that Rum Nitty, somebody said it too. Like a whole lot of people said this. I think even y'all know what's crazy? Terra admitted saying that Twerk and Rum Nitty had the best. You know how we always say the Gun Title's first run was one of the best first run in 2-on-2 history?
Yeah.
Terra was like, yo, their first was actually better than ours. It's just the crowd reaction didn't. He's like, the crowd was really not fucking with that. He's like,
no, they did that. They did that alien shit. They mentioned the trans stuff, and then they had mad bars. They went. They round was long. Like it was like 10 minutes long. They was bugging.
They were bugging. Then they did the rapping like Geechee, rapping like Terra.
Nah, he started rapping. He sounded exactly like that. That impression was perfect.
Yo,
perfect.
You should have.
I didn't think this battle would have been good because they all battled each other like 6 times. Yeah. I'm sick of seeing them niggas battle.
Oh no,
that shit was fire. He really impersonated him perfectly.
Yo, now let's talk about why that better happened. Because that better was not actually supposed to happen.
It's probably supposed to be the other way around.
No. So when Twerk and Ron Nitty announced them being on teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there were the two people. So the code they tried to find teams to go against. Everyone refused to battle Twerk and Ron Nitty. Everyone was saying no. So the only people then Twerk called Tay Rock. This is them coming from Tay Rock and Geechee. Say they remember in the second when Ram Nitty and Twerk had this whole thing waiting saying that getting appointed for this was a blessing and a curse. That I text Geechee and Geechee read the text and didn't respond, trying to get them.
Yeah.
Literally, Geechee and Tay Rock said, "Okay, that was true." He's like, when the first time we came, when they first announced the team, and he's like, they called me, and I talked to Ram Nitty and Twerk. The leader said, "Are you gonna team up with Rock? We want to battle you." He's like, I told them, "Hell no, I'm not standing in front of that." He's like, we went like for months refusing. It was to the point like Beasley said, "There's nobody else to battle."
Alright.
He's like, "There's nobody else want to battle them." He's like, "The only other option, well, understandably, he's like well, Loso only wanted to do with two. The saga said he didn't want to do it 2-on-2, but he proposed for Loso to an award because the saga said he's busy with his music, so he can't make it. But the saga, award writing, award and write, and you already haven't spoken about terms and stuff, right?
Right.
So that's what happened. So I was like, yo, literally, he's like, Geach is like, yo, he's like, it was like, he's like, y'all think you think that when they did like the second one, when they were saying they texted and Twerk called Tara, he's like, I thought that they were lying. No, that was true. He's like, Ron Meaty text me like daily saying, yo, bro, are you gonna team up with Tara? We want to battle you. He's like, I told him, hell no. And it's like, and Tara was like, yeah, I think. Then it was like, Twerk called me personally. He's like, yo, you gonna call Geech and team up? We want to battle y'all. Me and Ron want to battle y'all. He's like, no. He's like, I told him go to hell. He's like, I'm not going. He's like, I'm gonna supporting you. He's like, I want to be behind you, not in front of you. You saying you and Ronnie saying crazy shit. He's like, I don't want to do this. But when they did the alien thing, it was the way they came out though.
I like that. I like how they did that. It wasn't a big thing. It wasn't
Like
a big bar that's gonna go with it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just entertainment sake.
Yeah.
I like how they.
It was the way because the funny part, people didn't notice this. It was not like they sat down so what happened was T-Rock and Geechee came out first, right? And they went to their side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twerk, then Smack introduced Twerk and Ram Nitty. Ram Nitty didn't initially come out. It was only Twerk by himself. But if you listen to the audio, you hear Ram Nitty's voice, but you don't see him.
Right.
He said something in the mic, but he didn't say. People didn't notice that. So even Smack was confused. He's like, "Where's Nitty? Where's Nitty?" And Twerk started rapping. He's like, so Twerk came out. He's like, "Yo, you had." He's like, "You in this very stage, you had your 50th battle. You know I had to get the alien for that." And it was not even the reaction from the crowd. It was not even the reaction from Tay Rock and Geechee was hilarious because Tay Rock and Geechee was like, no way. Geechee was like, no, it was Tay Rock. He looked at Geechee and and Tay Rock was like, no way he did. He got Ron Nitty in an alien suit, and he's like, oh shit, and and the way it was the way Ron Geechee said, he's like, oh man, we here for a long one. He's like, oh, and Peter, when he saw that, he's like, ooh, it was the ooh, because I don't know what Tay Rock said, but I had long one. He's like, ooh, yeah, they here for this shit, and the way the way they did it, it was not even about the bars, it was entertainment, and the way it was like the way he's like, shh, I need to hear the alien speak. He's like. Then Rodney was like, oh, no, my name. He said, I'm big haters. And then he looked at Smack. He's like, I'm no more doing Smack favors. Then it was the performance from Twerk, like acting like he's translating whatever Rodney is saying in alien language. Like he didn't want to say it. Like the part where you say Karen raises. And when Ronnie said like whatever he said, he looked. He's like, huh? He's like, I don't know. Cane raises. He's like, oh no. He's like, I ain't saying that, bro.
I ain't saying that, bro. That shit, yo.
He's like, I
was really bugging up there.
Oh, he's like, in the second, the other funny part is the second when they brought out the train stuff again. When Mook brought out, or the brother Mook talking about the train stuff, and Troy kind of stopped around me. He's like, He's like, we ain't gonna do that. He's like, he ain't no proof. He's something that you should have not said.
He ain't got no proof. Yeah, that shit was crazy, bro.
Bro, it was like
they said that in the hustle too. You talk to Tay Rock all that time, and you ain't bring no proof.
Yeah, but it was but it was not when Lou said it was okay. It was more of like them going back and forth. But when you know how Twerk and like literally Twerk and Tay Rock are like big brother, little brother type of thing. You could see that relationship is very close. So even when Twerk revisit you say, you my brother, I can't watch you die. So I tell my, he's like, I'm Ray Charles. You saw Tay Rock was like, he said, what did you say to me, little boy? He's like, I'm about to kill you for that. But the impersonation, it was, Tay Rock made that whole impersonation even more fire. Because when Rodney rapped like Tay Rock and sounded like him, and Tay Rock said, stop rapping like me. He said, stop it. He said, stop it. Then Rodney, it was not even like him sounded like the actual impersonation, the spot on too. Like what Tay Rock does whenever he does 2 and 2s. Or whenever he raps. It was crazy, like, you a fucking idiot. You an idiot. You It was like
even down to the actual bar that he said. The bars that he said really did sound like that.
Yo, it was the point where Tay Rock even said, he's like, yo, Tay Rock kind of stopped for a second. He's like, oh yeah, I actually do that. He said, I actually say that. Like he said, I actually do say, fuck these niggas. Like, I was like, yo, it's hilarious. It was another, but for this battle I actually had it as a fight because I like what Geechee and Tay Rock said. But to be honest, I actually had Ron Nitty. Well, I did have Ron Nitty and Geechee winning the first and the second. Ron Nitty and Geechee. Ron Nitty and Twerk winning the first and the second. And Tay Rock and Geechee winning the third. It really didn't change for me.
I got, I would say more Nitty and Twerk.
Yeah, but it didn't change for me because I only changed. The only thing I was like, maybe for the fans, some people was like, oh yeah, Twerk, Terra and Geechee won. I was like, because they went last. Yeah, that's the last thing I saw, and they went crazy in the third, and you could see that the prep time also kind of affected Ramney, even though Ramney and them they like had more practice with their performance, but I think Ramney did say that third was not down pat until last minute, and you saw that because they kind of cut it short. They did what the leader is like, yo, the third was it's like we took the third off. He's like
I
really,
really fucking lost.
but yeah, but the event I gave it a 7 out of 10. I like the event. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like an average event, but I didn't think it was gonna be bad. But it was actually entertaining. Uh, I think there's another event coming in July 8th. I don't know if it's like an app event, but I know there's something coming July 8th. Because some people are now scared because it was I don't know who said it. DNA kind of said he's like whoever is got lost on July 8th, you got a problem in your hands. This man is on a mission. Because he battled yesterday on Sunday, and everyone who was in the building, he's like, this man is wilding. He's like, this man is. Then Daniel was like, yo, the crazy part, this man has battled 5 times in 6 weeks. Yeah, I'm letting this man do this, and he went wild. So yeah, but I think Loso doesn't have a contract. That's not another person who does whatever he wants sometimes.
Yeah, Loso is one of those people.
Yeah, he does whatever he wants. He battles on bullpen. He really doesn't have like exclusive deal with anybody. You might have like a deal for 2 years or something, but doesn't have like exclusive like stages. You can't bet on any other league type of deal. Because you're saying Loso did a 2-on-2 with Gitty and Bida while still on your road. So yeah. He battled Jazz. You know that URL doesn't let people battle big names outside of URL.
You know exactly who. They'll leave you in the trenches.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, they never let you battle big names. Like, he was about to battle Miss Hustle outside the URL, and they didn't say shit. That means...
That's probably why that battle has not happened yet.
Like, URL?
Maybe they was blocking it the entire time.
But they're gonna block... If they're gonna do that, they're gonna block... They're gonna block, Loso.
Nah, they would have blocked Miss Hustle on Chrome. But I don't know. They was happy about Chrome, and now all of a sudden they not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they can block Miss Hustle. Miss Hustle battles everywhere. She battled RBE before. I think if there anybody that can block is Loso, because Loso is not like a huge name like Miss Hustle. But yeah. But with that being said, y'all know what it is. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new. We're gonna see you guys in the next video, and I appreciate you guys. Peace.
Peace.